craziest thing that I ever took, it was a pair of dirty gym shorts.
Diamond for a wedding.
I know someone who delivered some eyeballs.
We had eyeballs.
10 bunches of flowers, so I had 4 bunches in my bag, 3 on each handlebar.
But I have had bottles of wine on my handlebars.
I did one time deliver to a primate research facility.
Somebody took elephant testicles.
Being a cycle courier in Sydney is awesome. You get stunning weather, you get to hang out with your mates. When it's quiet, I go and read books in the library or talk to people on the phone. My name's Kate. I've been a bicycle courier for 4 years. I don't really have a nickname. People just call me by my last name a lot of the time, which is Frawley. I work for a company called Messenger Post, which is a courier division of the post office. It's a really great job. It's not brain surgery, you know, it's not going to get me through the rest of my career, but it's such a fun job and it's so lovely just to meet people who are passionate about bicycles. My bike is it's an urban bike. It's taken me a while to realise what I want from a bike, but I've built it up single speed so that I don't have to worry about gears, maintaining them. You want a low maintenance bike because you're on it 8-9 hours a day. You want good brakes because stopping is your best friend. And something comfortable, you know, something that becomes a part of you. And if it has a little bit of style, that's always good, but I've seen some horrible bikes riding around, but to the rider, they're amazingly comfortable, and ultimately that's all that matters.
I think the internet and fax machines and stuff like that, it definitely impacted the community, but not in a deadly way. You know, it's like people always want something physical delivered.
Hello, just dropping that off? Yeah. See the sign and print, please.
Hi, my name's Kevin Bolger. Street name's Squid. I'm a bike messenger in New York City. Stuff that the internet can't send is like clothes and parcels and like just signed documents. So there's a lot of stuff to get moved.
The things we move around are mostly, these days, things that can't be moved by computer. So documents that can't be sent, documents that require a signature. Legal documents are really popular, so we do a lot of work for all the big legal firms.
Hello. Just dropping that off?
Jewellery occasionally, flowers. Flowers are heaps of fun to deliver. I'd say there wasn't a lot of money in couriering. I've heard different stories, conflicting stories. Sometimes in the 80s was the boom time. Other people tell me it was at the Olympics when this city was just crazy. People certainly make a living, a comfortable living. There might be 5 riders in the city who possibly won't leave because they're making great money. But most of the couriers earn pretty crap money. And that's why you see such a turnover of people coming and going, because you've got to stick it out in order to make money. There's a hierarchy, there's a pecking order that you have to prove yourself to your dispatcher, to other riders, to yourself even, just to be able to put up with a lot of crap in order to do the job well, and therefore the rewards come back with getting more money. And that's where I think that the appeal comes a lot to people who ride, because it's an incentive-based job, and it certainly appeals to a lot of masculine pride, I think.
Okay, I'm Blacksland Johnny, and I'm a push bike courier, bicycle messenger. I like to wreak havoc on 2 wheels, but a lot of the time I'm on 1 wheel. Anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a week. Just depends on who you're riding with and, you know, how high up in the food chain you are, I guess. How popular you are with the operators that deal out the work.
I see people are moving more towards doing cargo bike work, you know, which is a great way to move stuff around. You don't, if you have 2 boxes, it doesn't make sense to have a van driving around just for 2 boxes.
At the moment I'm on a what we call a maxi bike or a cargo bike, delivering carloads around the city. We're able to do it a lot quicker than the cars. Traffic is holding them back where it doesn't restrict us as much. My name's Jace, my nickname's Triples, and I'm a bike messenger. I got into couriering, it was just time for a change. I was managing a fast food restaurant and been there for most of my school career, working in that as well as going to school, and then was looking for something different. I enjoyed riding bikes, thought I'd give it a go and just fell in love with it. This bike that I'm riding, it's got a sort of meter rack on the front. The biggest thing I've taken is probably a full-fledged computer with monitor. The unusual is a mannequin. I've had legs and arms hanging out of the bucket at one stage. Because we do take the bigger type of stuff, we get some really unusual type of packages. I remember delivering a couple of bags of sex toys to an office, which was I thought was quite funny.
G'day, my name's Simon. My nickname's Shifty, and I'm a bike messenger. Been over 17 years. Just out of school I went to uni and didn't like it, so I sort of quit and needed to find a job because Mum and Dad wanted me to pay board, so there was an advert in the paper, so I went and applied, and that was the start of it.
Hey, how are we doing? Picking up the Mizuho?
It should be. There you go. Thanks.
Thank you.
The first time I ever saw them in Adelaide, I didn't really know what they were. I saw these people riding around with radios and I had no idea what they were. And then a year later, I was one of them. I've always been like a fanatic when it comes to cycling. I wasn't so sure about this job, but once you get used to riding in traffic, it becomes almost an obsession.
Okay, basically an alley cat is a live traffic street race, picking up and dropping off at various checkpoints, and the first person back wins. There's different formats. Sometimes it's like a scavenger hunt, sometimes it's just pure speed, sometimes there's skill tests or tasks that have to be completed at the checkpoints. It's just a lot of fun, and yeah, that's all it is. It's just fun riding your bikes in traffic like you do at work and having a ball.
So the winner is the one who gets the most money at the end, and the special prize if you complete all your tasks and get the highest earner.
I don't necessarily always do the right thing.
When you're on the road for 10 hours a day and you're riding in traffic, you're going to break traffic laws. There's no two ways about that.
I was skitching, which is hanging onto a truck. I was hanging onto a truck up this road called Parnell Rise.
Sometimes kids can ride wild on the bicycle. It's part of an expression of being out there, you know, and like that can be dangerous. But I'd say for the most part, in general, a bicycle messenger is a safety conscious person who wants to get there in one piece.
The general perception is fairly good. Most people think we're crazy.
The new Metropolitan Traffic Act makes some essay at curbing the bicycle fiend, who is probably one of the greatest pests of the dying century. The mass of bicyclists are reasonable and law-abiding human beings who use the bicycle as a more or less pleasant and safe method of locomotion, which it probably is, save when the rider falls off. But there's an inconsiderable minority of riders whose contortions on the machine are those of a painted monkey on a painted stick.
They believe in anarchy, they don't believe in rules, they don't believe that we as pedestrians have the right to walk along the footpath without feeling that there's someone screaming up behind us at high speed who might injure us. My name's Harold Scrooby, I'm Chairman of the Pedestrian Council of Australia. We lobby for the safety of pedestrians throughout Australia. Bicycle couriers are paid on every item they deliver. That is, the faster they can get from A to B, the more money they make. If there are no laws inhibiting that behaviour, they will break every rule in the book, and they do.
I had a guy chase me and pull me off my bike, a pedestrian, one day. That was, I scared the life out of him, I think, but he kind of stepped out in front of me, and when I pulled up at the next set of traffic lights, he chased me down the road, I didn't even know it, and ripped me off the back of my bike.
I was riding down George Street through peak hour traffic. Everything was bumper to bumper. I had some mechanical problems and looked down for a split second, and that's all it takes. Next, when I looked up, there was a pedestrian in front of me. We both hit the intersection just as I got a red light. Knocked him down, unconscious. I rolled and got up and turned around and saw his white eyeball staring at me and thought I'd killed him.
And I don't know what he thought he was going to do. He sort of realised what he'd done then. And I'm like, come on, mate, give us a break. He just stepped out in front of me, and he was pretty rattled, but nothing ever happened of it. I've never had an actual fight with anyone, so hopefully that'll stay the same.
Took a week off, and then came back and got on the bike again, and similar thing happened. And I just had lost my nerve. I got on the phone, quit, and didn't ride a bike again for another 2 years or so. Just couldn't do it, couldn't bring myself to do it. You know, it took a while for me to get back on it. Now I'm back into the swing of things. It's certainly changed my riding style. I've, you know, as you said, you don't, you know, I think that was the turning point. You don't have to be riding, and you know, like a bull at a gate to get everywhere. You know, it's more sensible and being much more alert.
We have laws in this country which are created by democratically elected governments. And they include the fact that over the age of 12, it's illegal to ride on a footpath. It's illegal for cyclists to ride through red lights. It's illegal for cyclists to ride up one-way streets the wrong way. But that's never enforced. Their behaviour, which can have the same lethal consequences as that of a motor vehicle driver, are just not enforced. If you or I drove through a red light, we'd we'd have 3 or 4 demerit points against our name and probably a several $100 fine. But an 80 kilo cyclist can go through a red light, a pedestrian zone at 30 k's, and everyone looks, every police officer and ranger and person in authority looks the other way. Our solution is simple. If you're a bicycle courier and you're reported by 3 different people over a certain period of time, going through red lights, going up one-way streets the wrong way, not giving way at pedestrian crossings, riding on footpaths, you can't be a bicycle courier for, say, a year.
Look, I don't know Harold. I understand that he's got a job to do. He's got a goal and a certain dream that he wants to keep alive, which I imagine is perfect paradise for pedestrians. I always respect pedestrians because they're not my biggest worry. It's the cars that I have to worry about. I don't think that we're urban cowboys. I think, like I said before, we take risks, but we know what we're doing. If you have a look at the couriers and accidents, compared to the fact that they've been they're in the saddle 8 hours a day, encountering all of these different kinds of traffic, the amount of ratio to the actual accidents that they have is minuscule. I'd love to be in a room with Harold Scrooby and have a chat to him for sure.
I think in Sydney especially we've always had a reputation of being reckless. But I think it's changed. Couriers at work now are a lot older, a lot more professional, generally in the game long term. We're starting to put back into the community a bit, and we're organising an international event with people coming from all over the world. We're showing we can do that and organise things. The Cycle Messenger World Championships is a 2-day event. It'll be held in Sydney. In fact, it's the first time it'll be held in the Southern Hemisphere. This is the 14th time it's been held worldwide. There'll be 129 competitors from up to 15 countries.
Here we are at Martin Place. The City of Sydney's provided this venue for free for us. We've got a breakfast on, which is the opening ceremony for the World Championships.